All right. Let us start. So on Monday, we were talking about the four Brahma Viharas. And then in the four Brahma Viharas, you have the Mettā, Karuna, Mudita, and Upekkha. That too, what is my whole intention of that one is to make sure that yogis, when they practice this Mettā, and especially this Mettā Bhavana right now, then we are not tainted with all kinds of these subtle defilements. And all these subtle defilements, they are hard to see. It takes mindfulness. It takes training in the mindfulness, especially, and also in the vipassana also, to be able to really to feel or to notice that that subtle defilements that arises, that it tainted with our metta. Sometimes we do metta, we act, but we want something back. We have certain expectation. And that expectation, it taints the metta. For example, sometimes we do metta, but what's the purpose? Because we want to sleep well. That's about it, There's nothing more higher than that. But it's good because a lot of times people cannot able to sleep. Then with this metta, they can sleep better. Which is very true in that sense, But these are, again, as I said, has a worldly purpose. And when that worldly purpose, if you not careful, then you get attached to it, then your metta is in a way tainted. Tainted. Because there's expectation, there's desire there. Something like that. Now, tonight, I'm going to make your life a little bit more complicated. A little bit more complicated because metta is not as, the way I do it just now, like for example, the guided metta and also some of the things I have thought, I already simplified it so that it is suitable to me, actually. And then because it's suitable to me, then I teach it out. Hopefully that maybe it also is suitable to you. But in metta, like each one of us, development of this metta, karuna, and so on, each one of us got its own tune to how to really develop metta. But in the beginning part, you need to have some basic lines or basic sentences for you to help you to grow the metta. But as the metta keep on growing, as you keep on development, getting further, then the metta, it will go into a certain way that which can be very helpful to you. And if you find your tune right, then it will be good in the long run. So as we develop, we can see also some in the interviews, already able to kind of fine-tune the metta, and you can able to let the metta become continuous, become flowing, and you can able to get the mind become less hindrances, clearer, which is wonderful. Within 10 days or so, if you keep on doing like that, you see, within the 10 days, some of us can able to do that. What more when we still have some days to go, So don't expect too much, but nevertheless, keep on trying. Keep on trying. So tonight, this metta that we're going to discuss about is, for a lot of you have know it by heart also, actually. And you know it by heart. For many of you, especially if you are a meditator and if you're connected with the Burmese tradition, especially, then it will start with this. Ahang abirohomi, abhyapajohomi. That then it goes go for a long, and then this is where it's the real. There's a lot of information inside there. A lot of ways we can develop metta, but then for you all, you all take it into become a music. It become a music. You just tune it on, turn it on because it's a very soothing music to you, rather than it is something that you can able to develop very far. So for a lot of us, all these things, it actually becomes just music. But the thing is that these things, they are actually very useful as for a meditator like all of us right now. And we're going to look into it, how we're going to develop that into proper meditation practice, which is actually mentioned in the text, especially in the commentaries. And also the Buddha also mentioned also some of the suttas, but the commentary give you a clearer way how to do this metta meditation, all based upon the suttas. So we're going to look into it. Let's see. Hold on. Some of the things are all on. Okay, off it. Okay. All right. Now, let me share the screen. Mettā Bhavana. Okay, this one. All right. Now here, according to the title of the Dhamma talk tonight, then we have this called unspecified metta, or specified, and also the specified metta, anodisa metta, or also sometimes in another sense, we call it unspecified pervasion, or anisoparana, or specified pervasion, anisoparana, anodisoparana. Anyway, this is mentioned in the commentary. The word parana here, that's what we are using. In terms of Pali, we use the word radiating, or sometimes we use suffusing or pervading, or sometimes I use it as expansion, in that way. So to give you a variety of meaning or a variety of words that some of us may understand one better than the other one. Now there's this metta chanting that you all go through. This one, those things arises from Patisambhida Magga and also the Visuddhi Magga. Visuddhi Magga is the path of purification. Patisambhida Magga is the path of discernment. The path of discernment. These are 2,000 over years already. This is a commentary on the suttas, but it's already 2,000 over years. Now, in the specified metta and unspecified metta, this is something that you are already, a lot of you have memorized it. A lot of you have memorized it. Let's look into it a little bit. Unspecified metta. Okay, let me make it smaller a little bit. Then everything can go inside. Okay. Hopefully you all can see. Now, in this thing that you all do is that you all chanted that sabbe satta, sabbe bana, sabbe bhuta, sabbe pukala, sabbe atta bhava pariyapana, sabba itiyo, sabbe purisa, sabbe arya, sabbe anarya, sabbe deva, sabbe manusa, sabbe vinipatika. This is, you know by heart, a lot of you. You know by heart. And this is exactly where we can able to bring this into meditation practice. Here this unspecified metta. What is called it unspecified? Because it does not have, in the sense that it is a group of them, a smaller group, comparatively to a specified mettā. You see, specified mettā is all females. It doesn't include the male. Yeah? So it's specified to a certain group. Whereas, like for example, sabbe purisa, all males. All males, again, here it is specified to a certain group. It's specified to a certain group. So 1 and 2 belongs to a gender group. Gender group. Now, when you go to unspecified mettā, when we say sabbe satta, the sabbe satta, usually we just translate it as all beings. We translate it as all beings. Then, the 2 is again sabbe pana. The panatipata, this is the part of it now, Pana, all living beings, all beings that breathe and live. Sabbe Buddha, sabbe Puggala, sabbe Atta Bhava Pariyapana. What is number 1 to number 5? More or less they have the same meaning. More or less they have the same meaning. It's not that they are separate from one to another. Because that sometimes they use the 5, I think, because they want to give a variety of words. That some people, sabbe satta is more powerful, but sometimes number 2, sabbe pana is more powerful. Sabbe Buddha is more powerful. It's different from each and every one of us. So here we have the 5, all beings, sabbe satta, sabbe pana, all living things, sabbe Buddha, all creatures, sabbe Puggala, all individuals, sabbe Atta Bhava, all personality with aggregates. Same, all them one way or another, that how you look at it, they're all in a way the same. It's just different way of looking at it, because sometimes for some people they conceptualize things differently. So as I said, as they conceptualize things differently, sometimes certain words and certain words or certain phrases, it may be more impactful to you. Okay? Then we have this specified mettā. We have sabba itiyo, all females, sabbe purisa, all males, then sabbe arya, all noble ones, sabbe anarya, all worldlings. All worldlings means putujana. Now, all noble ones and all worldlings, then we differentiate them by spiritual attainments. Then 5, 6, 7, sabbe deva, sabbe manusa, sabbe vinipatika. Then here is by their birth, and also, of course, in a sense, by their realms of existence. So this is already like 7. Okay? Then we have these 7 groups for specified mettā, and then we have 5 groups for unspecified mettā. Okay? Now, in each of the lines are like sabbe satta. Then for sabbe satta, then we have avera hontu. Then they have abhyapaja hontu, aniga hontu. May I, may they already. May they be free lah. May they, sorry, not may I, may they. Okay. Of themselves happily. Because this is all copy and paste only. Okay, all right. So, avera hontu, abhyapaja hontu, aniga hontu, suki atanang pariharantu. This one again, many of you able to remember, which is very good. Which is very good. So, here, therefore, you see the 4 lines that normally that we do. Avera hontu, may they be free from harm and danger. May they be free from all mental suffering. May they be free from all physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily. So all these 4 lines, you can apply it to each of the component, each of these ones. For example, sabbe satta. Sabbe satta, may all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger. May all beings be free from all mental suffering. May all beings be free from all physical suffering. May all beings take care of themselves happily. Now, this is the traditional way of doing it. As I said, for my way, I already some of the words I already change it in order to make it more meaningful for me. In the traditional way, it says that Sukhi Atana Pariharantu, may they take care of themselves happily. Now, if you able to understand that one perfectly well, and it gives rise a good deep meaning to you, then of course you may do that. You may use these words itself. Yeah? So to me, this word may not be so powerful. So I use my own words. Now, therefore, there are 48 ways of radiating Mettā. So each way you have 4. So altogether you have 12. Like altogether, number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 plus 7 here. So each one you have 4. So altogether 48 ways of doing Mettā already. Yeah? Sometimes, for example, you may think that why they want to develop all these things happen. They may want to develop by gender, male, female, and so on. Yeah? So because sometimes it also depends on each person. For example, you are living in this world, and you differentiate the human beings or beings as just male, female, because that's what you can see, what you can see with your eyes. And to them, so that, okay, now I want to do it for all the females, so I want to do it all the males, in that sense. So because you can see, and then because for some people because you can see, it impact you. It gives you the impact, and when you radiate the Mettā, then it works. Then the Mettā works. Yeah? Some of us may not want to use this female and male. So it's perfectly all right, because it may not impact you so much. Then perhaps the noble ones, it's good for you because you are in the spiritual development too. And in these spiritual developments, you are admirable of the noble ones, for example. And if you admirable of them, all the Aryas, then you wish them to be well and happy because they have a certain spiritual development and spiritual maturity. And then to them, you respect their achievements, and you find that these achievements are wonderful. And then the moment you think of them, you are happy. And because of that, when you radiate the Mettā and it's impactful to you, then you use the noble ones. And you see, you use the worldling also. Perhaps you see all the people in this world. Now you see all the people in this world, and you can see that there's a lot of them have a lot of goodness, have kindness, and then you also, to you spread the Mettā to all of them. So it's perfectly all right. Then you have Deva, Sabbe Deva. These Devas here, including all the Brahmas also, and all the humans and all the afflicted beings. So again here, it depends on how you take note of them in a certain time, in a certain place, in a certain condition, then it can be very helpful to you. So, like for example, if you do all females, may all females may they all be free from all kinds of harm and danger. May all females be free from all mental suffering. May they all be free from all physical suffering. May all females take care of themselves happily. So altogether, you have already 48. So you can choose whichever you want. When you are much more better, when you are much more this one. Now, in order to complicate you further, to make you further complicated, make you more crazy, then we have this one. Puratimaya Disaya, Pachimaya Disaya, Uttaraya Disaya, Dakinaya Disaya, Puratimaya Anudisaya, Pachimaya Anudisaya, Uttaraya Anudisaya, Dakinaya Anudisaya, Hetimaya Disaya, Uparimaya Disaya. Hopefully, when I do this, you don't start put music into your mind. Then you start Pura. Hey, don't do that. You know why? Even all this chanting. When I conduct a retreat, I also don't encourage yogis to do all this chanting. Because even you do this chanting also, and in a certain way, the chanting also got its own melodious tone, Melodious tone. It may not be the musical one, but it is just a melody. Like sometimes in MBMC, you are chant that thing. In sometimes you got Tatingi, chant this, that also. In sometimes you got KKB, you chant all these things. Yeah? But to me, I'm not fond of this when a yogi is in the chanting, when the yogi is in the retreat. And especially you see that long-term yogi, when I say long-term yogi, they stay for months in the meditation center. And when they stay for months in the meditation center, imagine that every night you do this thing. And every night when you do these things, and you chant, and then they kind of like sing into you. Then what happened is that this chanting, it becomes a obstruction at times, You know your rising, falling, Purati Maya, Disaya, Pachimaya, rising, falling, Pachimaya. Or in breath, out breath, after you notice your in breath, out breath, Avera, Hontu, Abhya, stop. Then you try to watch again. Then after that, it keep on coming because it's quite melodious to you. Then it go on and on and on. And then it becomes a hindrance, becomes an obstacle, So that's why, as I said, during in my retreat, I don't really encourage yogis to do these things. But I encourage yogis to do more of meditation type in the sense of a mettā. Because at times, even in a long-term retreat in Vipassana, this guided mettā or even mettā meditation can be very helpful to the yogis because it can help you to overcome certain hindrances, certain strong hindrance. For example, for me, early morning difficult to meditate, sleepy, not enough sleep, things like that. Then that time I don't do vipassana. I forgot about vipassana. Then I do mettā. Although mettā is not for, in a way, overcoming sleepiness. But to me, when I do this mettā, the mind is alert, the mind is clear. And when the mind is clear and I do it for a while, after that, I switch it over back to vipassana. And the vipassana is good. And because of the concentration, mindfulness that comes from the mettā, then transfer it to vipassana. Then the vipassana is not like, not the sitting is not being thrown away to sloth and torpor. If not every morning there's sloth and torpor, then you cannot do anything because you do not know other form of meditation. So when you have another form of meditation, change it. At least you can still salvage your sitting or walking in the morning. At least there's something. So anyway, let's just come back to here. Let's come back to here. So we have this. In the eastern direction, west, north, south, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, in the Indian tradition, I think the north is not the first one. It's the east is the first one. Normally, we use in the Indian tradition, like the Buddha's time, the east will be the thing, the first one. Nevertheless, also in a way, when the Buddha gained the enlightenment, where does it face? South, north? No, he faced the east. He faced the east. So a lot of times, sometimes I've seen sometimes Buddha Rupa also. They want to face the Buddha Rupa towards the eastern side because of the enlightenment itself. So you have this Pratimaya, Pachimaya, Disaya, Uttaraya, Disaya, and so on. So after that, we have the in-between, the southeast, the northwest. It goes from opposite, the southeast, then it goes opposite to the northwest. Then you have northeast, then it goes opposite to the southwest. So we already have 8. Then you have this downward direction, and you have this upward direction. So altogether, you have 10 directional mettā. So to me, I don't normally, when I do my own practice, I don't do this directional way. My way of doing is like expansion to all direction, because I can able to conceptualize it in that way. But some people, they have more difficulty conceptualize, like a bubble going up, getting bigger, and touching all beings. But to them, the direction, it's a very good way, because they can see, they can feel, they can they open up the eyes, they can see which direction they are there. So then they use this direction. Okay, they use this direction. Then now in this direction, each direction, as I said, each direction has 48 ways of radiating mettā. So 48 ways, that means just now, like we have this again, all these 48 ways. Then what do? In the eastern direction, for example, may all the females be free from all kinds of harm and danger. In this eastern direction, may all females be free from all mental suffering. In this direction, may all the females be free from all physical suffering. And in this direction, in this eastern direction, may all the females take care of themselves happily. So each direction, you can divide it into again 48 ways. So altogether, because it got 10, then therefore it goes up to 480 ways. Okay, 480 ways. Now 480 ways. So together we'll plus with the 48 just now. Without the direction one, without all this direction. So the 48 plus 480, so altogether you have 528 ways of radiating mettā. 528 ways. So again, why so many? Why so many? Again, as I said, just to remind you that all of us are very different. Sometimes in a certain direction, it may be helpful to some people. Sometimes the direction is not helpful, not necessary for some people. So these are traditional way of understanding how they radiate the mettā. So a lot of times we hear 528 ways. All of these things come from all the chanting that you have done and all the songs that you have listened to, all the mettā chant song that you have listened to. But there are ways it can able to direct this one. Now, some people, they want to meditate in this way because they want to follow a very traditional way of doing it. It's perfectly all right, but to me, I find it is a bit too complicated. I find it a bit too complicated, and usually my way is just like I make it simple for myself. I start off with I start off with the beings around, a respected one, or the beings around. Then it goes bigger group, and finally to sabbe satta, all beings. To me, that is enough for me to develop further into the deeper concentration. But some people have a slightly different tunes, different way. So you can choose one of the 528 ways of radiating mettā. Okay? So this one is on mettā. To make your life even more complicated, we haven't finished with 528 yet, Okay? There's some more to go. Now, Each and everyone, in the Mettā practice, as if you have understand certain things about jhana, and then Mettā can give rise to three jhanas: first jhana, second jhana, and third jhana. Okay, if from a Suttanta point of view, but from an Abhidhamma point of view, then each jhana can give rise to four jhana, four levels of jhana, because they cannot. This Mettā, you cannot reach the one with the upekkha one, the one with equanimity one. You cannot, because Mettā needs some degree of joy and happiness, bliss, in order for the Mettā to be there. So equanimity one, you cannot reach yet. So either, if you look from Suttanta point of view, is three. If you look from Abhidhamma point of view, it will be four levels of jhana. Anyway, we don't go and discuss why three, why four. That will be another time. So, therefore, conceptually, conceptually or technically, because each way you can produce a jhana, produce an absorption. So altogether, you have 528 ways of arising of the jhana that can be aroused from Mettā. Okay, you have jhanas that can be aroused from Mettā. So you have 588 ways. So your way and another way may be different on how to do it on this Mettā, but you still arise if you are capable, you are powerful, you're mentally powerful, you develop well, you develop Mettā. So from the Suttanta level, you will have first jhana, second jhana, third jhana. So 528 ways times 3, 1,584 ways of producing jhana. And then after that, if you're talking about Abhidhamma ways, then you have 2,112 jhana. It says that haven't really started meditation yet, Mettā meditation yet, and here we're talking about so many thousands of jhana. Don't worry about it. This one is I put here just conceptually for you all just to know only. Just chai gao liao. You know enough already. Don't worry about it too much about this. The thing is that what I want to say is that the things that you remember, all this Mettā chanting, that Avero Homi and all that thing, those things can actually, if you develop it well, they can produce jhana. Don't worry about this 500. Even like you don't worry about all this first jhana. Even the 528 ways of jhana. What you actually need is just one jhana enough. If you can practice the Mettā until the first level of jhana, that's it. Any way you take, you just take until one level of jhana. And then that one jhana, you already open up the other 527 ways already. 527 doors already. So you don't worry about that. All you need is open one only. Open one only, everything is all waiting for you only. So whether you want to do it or not only. So again, all these ways of radiating jhana, radiating Mettā. You see, there are specified, unspecified, and after that we go into the direction and so on. So usually if they all go through all these things, if some people they go through all these things, finally they want to go in the deeper Mettā, deeper level. They begin to, again, like as I said, they eliminate all of them. Eliminate until that particular one, that one line or one sentence, it can be impactful to you. And they use these lines that particular way, and then they use it until the mind becomes very clear, free from hindrances. And then after that, even that particular lines or the recitation in the mind, you also drop it also. That one also drop it. Only the Mettā is keep on going, keep on flowing, keep on strengthening, and so on. That it will, in the later part, it will go into jhana. That one is not that easy. Yes, it's something like that. Something like that. You will go into jhana. But the thing is that for us here, we are not looking into all the jhana, this and that. We want to make sure that at least we know there are different ways of doing metta. And all this metta chanting can be very helpful if you understand this chanting a little bit more deeper. Not just using it for just chanting only. This can help you to give rise to a bit more deeper mental development. So hopefully you can able to look at this chanting in a different light, not just only chanting for chanting's sake only. Yeah. Now, let us go into compassion. Let us go into karuna, and see how many karuna you can go. Karuna one is quite easy. Karuna, mudita, and upeka, they are quite easy. Okay, let us go into that one. So this one is all conceptually. So you don't remember all the metta jhana, how many thousand, doesn't matter. That one I come up somewhere else. All right. Now, karuna one is quite simple. You see, when we do the chanting again in that one, karuna, when we come into karuna, you have dukkha muchantu. May they be free from suffering. May they be free from suffering. Again here, specified, unspecified. You already have 12, and then you have 12 directions, then 120. So 12 plus 120, you have 132 ways of radiating metta. So not too difficult to understand, but of course it's always difficult to do. Now you see the karuna here, traditionally, using the text, they only have one sentence only. Dukkha muchantu. May they be free from suffering. Be free from all forms of suffering. And I said that, as I said that on Monday, when you do this karuna, you must focus on the suffering of beings already. Whether it's a mental suffering, whether it's a physical suffering, or whether it is also the suffering that you cannot see. Like for example, suffering of samsara, that you cannot see. Although they are happy, although they are born happily in a certain realm of existence, but because they suffer from the birth and rebirth, so we look at that also as something as suffering also. So that dukkha muchantu, it's big, it's huge. Now, to be able to, for us to do that, this dukkha muchantu, for us to do that, sometimes when I do this karuna, guided karuna, I don't use one sentence. I use a multiple sentence, a multiple phrases, in order to arouse a certain aspect or certain concept, a certain way of how we can arouse the what do you call that? This karuna, this compassion. For example, when I start the karuna, usually I'll start off with certain imagination. Imagination of what? Imagination of that we can able to remember places or people that is undergo suffering. And one of the things that I did is to imagine that you are in a hospital. And then everywhere you turn here like you are in the ward. Like you are in the ward. You turn around and then you see people are suffering. People are suffering. And then with that, that image, that impact onto your mind. And then here we start off with this nature of suffering. We start off with, may I be free from all this suffering. We imagine first, then we start off with, may they be free from all this suffering. Because we are looking into the suffering of others right now. So that one, for a lot of people, it may be impactful. Or sometimes I start off with, you're sitting in a clinic and there are patients are waiting to see the doctor. They have one way or another, they are sick, physically sick or mentally sick also. So again here, you sit down there, you cannot able to remove their suffering, but you can able to wish them to be free from that suffering. So that wish, that true wish, it is karuna, without expectation, without anything, just wishing them to be dead. So with that image, with that understanding, then after that, we start off with ourselves. We start off with oneself. Then, may I be free from all kinds of suffering. Whatever suffering that I'm undergoing, may I be free from that suffering. As if like you are certain suffering here and there, But again here, you must not have any expectation, because when some people, they radiate to oneself, may I be free from that suffering. After that, you get up, how come my blood pressure is still higher? How come my gastric does not over? How come this and that? Then there's expectation. When there's expectation, that means the karuna is tainted. And the day, as I said, the compassion here, on Monday, I said that the compassion, when you give something out of compassion because you want to help the person, compassion in action. When you want to help them, but then because you attach to your giving, then when you see somebody throw your things away, then you get hurt. You get hurt. You get angry. Why? Because there's expectation there. So here, may they be free from suffering. May they be free from suffering. Again, here, there must be no expectation. The mind is clean. It's only truly they wish the person or they wish the beings to be free from suffering. Usually, as I said, I spread it out a little bit more. Again, the group is the same. The group that I use is also the same. May the people around here, or may after that we go up to like a country, or we go up to the whole world, we go up to the whole all beings. The group is the same, but the way that we focus is different only. So to make things simple, to make things simple, this is how I develop the way of doing karuna. And different words, again, later part, I also the same thing as Mettā. I eliminate until you get one, then it becomes quite strong, that compassion. So here you got 132 ways of radiating this one. So you have 12, and also you have the 10 specified direction. 132 ways of radiating karuna or suffusing karuna. Okay? All right. Mudita also the same thing. Mudita also the same thing. Mudita, altruistic joy. Only one sentence. Again here you also remember. Yatta lada sampatito mavika chantu. May they be not deprived of happiness they have obtained. May they not be deprived of happiness that they have obtained. This is translation from the Pali word, from the translation from the Pali word. Then again here, it's the same like karuna. The 12 specified, 12 unspecified ways. You have 10 direction, you have 120. So 12 plus 120, you have 132. Okay? Now this one, altruistic joy. Again, sometimes I expand it to more lines, into more sentences, just like compassion also, to get the meaning out from what is mudita. For example, when I expand it, I did it like, I imagine again. We start off mudita by imagination. Again, we imagine or we recall. This one more like recall, yes. I recall, let's say, I have done something good in the past. Like for example, a lot of you have done katina. And you've done katina, you have done a lot of offerings, then you bring that memory of that offering that you have. You hold on to it. You hold on to it, and then after that, whatever, that's why they say, may not be deprived of happiness they have obtained. That means in the past that you have done all these wholesome deeds, then normally I use the word, may my spiritual gains that I've obtained, may they not be diminished. may they not disappear. You know, may my material gains that I've obtained, may they not disappear. And because may all these material and spiritual gains give me happiness. Give me happiness. And this happiness is because of the whole good deeds that I've done in the past. And then after that, we spread out to the people around also. Now we spread out to the people around. Then again, they have done a lot of good deeds in the past. Then we recall whatever deeds that they have done, whatever good deeds they have done, may their happiness able to prolong. May their spiritual gains able to prolong. May their spiritual gains may not disappear. May their spiritual gains do not diminish. May their material gains do not disappear. May their material gains do not diminish. In those sense. So I give, usually for me when I do it, I give a long, more lines in order to have a different concept. And it's good because that this mudita, when you recall your own or other people's good deeds, it gives rise to happiness. It gives rise to happiness. And that happiness, it helps to overcome, the jealousy. And also to help you to overcome when your mind is down. When your mind is down, flat, nothing. Like for example, right now, a lot of people have a lot of mentally depressed over this COVID. And they have a lot of this one. The joy is disappearing in their life. Stay at home, cannot go anywhere, you're not sure who is having COVID and who is not. And then, you get fearful of those things. And then it eats into you. And then day after day, you find that your mind getting more depressed, getting more anxiety and so on. Then mudita is one of the great ways to re-arouse the happiness and the joy again. This is one way. Mettā also is one. Mudita is much more, actually more impactful because you remember of something that you have done, or you recall some wholesome deeds that somebody has done, and with that, it's easier for you to arouse the mudita. So other times during in the retreat, so sometimes I start off with this mudita also, with the meditation on mudita, and sometimes also I do guided meditation on mudita, and all these things maybe in future I'll guide you all a little bit more. Right now we do the Mettā first. So again, here we have 132 ways of doing it. Equanimity also the same thing. Equanimity, that what you chanted is only karmasaka. All beings are owners of their karma. All beings are owners of their karma. But in the sutta, they have this karma yoni, karma sakka, karma dayadaha. All these things, they have different way of how you look at karma. That also can actually be used for the purpose of understanding equanimity or developing of equanimity. Now, development of this equanimity, again here in traditional way, they use just only one line. One line, so again, it's also 132 ways. Now, in this upeka, you cannot develop the first jhana. You cannot develop the second jhana or you cannot develop first jhana, second jhana, third jhana. There's no first jhana for upeka, there's no second jhana for upeka, the third jhana for upeka. There's only fourth jhana for upeka only. And if you're looking from a Sutanta perspective, or if you're looking from a Abhidhamma perspective, there's only fifth jhana only. You cannot develop the lower jhana. The upeka is only, you can develop that particular jhana. So, in order to develop upeka, you must able to develop one of the three things here. It's either you develop metta, karuna, or mudita. You must able to reach to the third jhana. Then only later part, when you want to develop equanimity as jhana, then you must able to drop you must able to drop all the mudita and then you go into upeka already that time. That one is a bit more complicated. But nevertheless, we can also develop this upeka as a form of a reflection, as a form of, to keep the mind calm and peaceful. So sometimes also I do this upeka as a guided meditation that may all beings, this time it's not all beings already. This time, all beings are owners of their karma. Karma is their related ones, their closest one, their kin, in that sense. So in that sense, we look in karma in different ways. Sometimes I use the word all beings with karma and vipaka also, something like that. I forgot what lines I do already. But anyway, I did it in the sense that as a guided meditation also. But the first, second, third, and fourth one, that one we can able to actually go and further into getting into jhana. But the upeka one, you cannot do that. But nevertheless, it is good. And this upeka, as I said on Monday, this is the one that we don't practice that often. We don't practice that often, although we think about karma here and there. But when the condition is there, we don't exercise equanimity. When we don't exercise this equanimity, our mind fluctuate in the sense of getting angry, getting irritated, then if it's not, then getting dejected, then after that angry again, dejected again, happy again, keep on going up and down. Equanimity is very useful. So this one is how, in the traditional way, in the way of the text, that there are so many ways that you can radiate this, develop these 4 Brahma Viharas. So as I said, we are not going to go all through those ways, but it's good to know, because what you chanted, it is good to know that this can be turned into a meditation practice. What is more important is that we understand what we are doing, in the sense that when we do it, we do it in a more simplified way, as long as the simplified way can develop some mettā for you. And if once you develop the mettā, then it will be very good, and then you can go on further and further into the development of mettā. So it's not too difficult, isn't it? Understanding is difficult only. If you want to develop this, Purati Maya Disaya and Pachimaya Disaya, maybe I suggest you better sit facing east also when you want to meditate. So start away from east, isn't it? Something is in front of you. Then after that, something is at the back of you. Then after that is left of you or right of you or in between and so on. It's easier. Then if not, you close your eyes. Hey, east direction where? Then by the time you think about it, mind all klum kaput already. So if you don't want to do that, that's perfectly all right. But for some people, I said, the radiation is more directional radiation. They can feel this thing. Some people, not necessary. Some people, direction is good for them. So this is on the specified and unspecified mettā. So that's it for the Dhamma talk tonight. And we will continue the Dhamma talk on Monday. But on Friday, again, we have this Q&A session again. Now again, since we are in the Mettā Bhavana session, and then we're going to have, we still accept questions from the participants. We're going to accept this one from the participants, and you can give your questions up to until 5 p.m. on Friday. So again, the questions all related to mettā, related to the practice of mettā. And again, I'm not accepting any questions on vipassana or abhidhamma or suttas or dhamma in general. So I'm not accepting for that in the meantime. So questions are usually from the Mettā participants, preferably. Now, the questions you can send it there to Sister Hun Ling. And also another thing, on the did I mention about the interview? No, on the interview, just to remind you again, there are some, you will see some names are being cancelled, as you got your interview list. Some names are cancelled. And also on Friday, you may get a next list, or Saturday, you may get the next list. You may see that some of the names are cancelled. The reason I cancelled the name is because that you have finished your Mettā retreat according to the registration form, So when you finish, that means no interview already, But of course, you can still carry on meditating. There's no stopping you. There's no stopping you at all. It's just that since you put 10 days, so there's no this one. But the thing is that I don't know why you just want to do 10 days when I give 1 month. After all, every day the same one. The only thing, the thing that when you don't have interview, what will happen to you is that you will not meditate already. No teacher to to discuss already. I will meditate, but I go as I like already. Then that's where your defilement and your laziness will start coming in. Anyway, that's it for tonight.